So, as someone who's been working in multimedia for many years, from your books, articles, your correspondence on radio and television, what can you tell me about the transition online? You're already so used to working in so many different areas of publication.
Well, I find the internet useful, especially if you operate in a lot of medias, because you can bring it all together. And it's fairly recent, really. I would say in the last couple of years on my own website, and I still need to develop my Red Room site a little more, but on my own site, yeah, I can put video clips, for any television work I'm doing. I can put radio, uplinks, whatever it is, the writing and the visuals, the links. So it's come to a point where for a person that likes to deal in different mediums, it's a great place to come together. And I think Red Room is taking advantage of that.
Wonderful, thank you. What do you want to tell us about your new book, Experimental Man, Cell by Cell, One Man's Intimate Journey into Himself? I know it's due in the fall.
Yes, I had a little setback because my laptop was stolen, and I lost about 20,000 words. So I don't know if you'll put this on the site, but I will say back up everything.
I think that's probably a very good tip for aspiring writers.
Yeah, no, it was not a complete disaster. I had outlines, and in fact, it's in your head, so you can get it back out again. But it's so depressing to have to rewrite something. Just a book is incremental. To have to go back to that place I was several weeks ago. But anyway, the book, Experimental Man, has been an outgrowth of some magazine articles I wrote where I tested my genes and environmental toxins that I have in my body.
It's a hot topic right now.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And because there's new technology that's allowing us in some ways to explore these kind of inner secrets. But the book asks, how good is it? Where are we in the technology? Are there scary things about it? What's good about it? And it's also very personal because I've also tested my family, my parents, my brother, and my daughter. And we've already found out some fascinating things.
Wow. What can you tell me that's good about it?
Well, I think will be good because it will tell you a lot of, it'll basically give you a rough idea of what's coming down the road for your future. Right. Although that's also kind of what's wrong with it. Do we really want to know?
Right.
And is this information probably a generation or two from now gets really, really specific and starts giving you really accurate probabilities about things like heart attack or Alzheimer's, Do we want to know? I think some people will, and other people maybe won't.
Right. As a prominent member of the San Francisco Grotto here in the city, what can you tell me just about being a San Francisco writer, or something particular about being based in Northern California? You've made your life and your career here intentionally, I gather. So, what can you tell me?
I did kind of come out kicking and screaming. I was at the end of a marriage, and I actually didn't want to come. In 1997, I was in New York and on the East Coast, and I really actually liked it, and I still love New York. I in many ways consider myself at home in New York, but I've come to really love the West Coast, and I love the energy out here. There's just a complete abandonment of any sense of reality, which used to bother me, but now I love it because people just jump into anything. Yeah, you've got a convert here.
Okay, wonderful. We'll just wrap it up with maybe something simple. Just when did you know you wanted to be a writer and that you wanted to write?
I went through a couple periods as a kid when I wanted to be a sci-fi writer, and I wrote some silly sci-fi things. But it actually, I'm really a journalist, and I have hopefully become a writer as well. It happened in college when they raised the price of sodas in Coke and everything in the soda machines, and I got kind of upset because I was on a budget. And I know it sounds sort of silly, it was like a dime or something. And I investigated it and found out that there was actually a kickback scheme going on at my college. And people were being paid off. And I published a story in our college paper, which ended up locally being a big deal. And people were fired, and there was a criminal investigation. And I suddenly realized, wow, the power of these words is amazing, just getting information out like that. So I got hooked.
Well,